I'm cleaning up some of these joins just to get them all flush. So where the intake was on here, the fuselage had a slight step, so I just piece of sponge, hit coarse, and just sand it down, and then finer grades to smooth it out. The intake lips were a bit thicker than the intake skin back here, so I same again, just a thin piece, and I just thinned them down just to get them flush. This side's pretty good. This side just there, I need a bit of putty, and once I do that and clean it up, I'll prime it again, and then if I need to re-scribe it, I'll re-scribe it. So the join to the front to rear, just where I've taped off here, so in between my thumbs, that was slightly stepped to the rear, so I've taped off here to save the panel lines and the rivet detail that's there. And again, the coarse sponge, you can see I'm making a bit of a mess there, but that'll be right once I go down to finer grade. And then even finer grade and so forth, just to again get it flush. This side is pretty good, except maybe just in there I might need to clean it just a bit, and in there you can see I need to put some putty. It's a bit, that piece didn't fit great. I think I showed that last time. And then what I'll do when I get that right, then I'll start doing the main seam line. I think I'll clean up the fuselage, get all that sorted, do the wings, clean them up, and then put the wing on just for ease for working on it. It's less to handle. Our fuselage is cleaned up. Where I had to fill, I just used CA glue instead of using filler. So CA glue, as soon as it dries you can sand it, so it's pretty much immediate. I still have to re-scribe back in panel lines that were lost along the way, and some of the panels are the one under here round and a couple of square ones, so I'll just use these the templates. I can't remember the brand, well, not everyone, heaps of people make them. Was it is it ET model, this one? I think I bought them in a pack, but yeah, there's heaps of manufacturers who make them, and I'll just use a needle and a pin vise. I've got those aftermarket sets with got the air scoops and the antenna and angle of attack sensors, so they're molded into the fuselage. I have to cut them out, clean that up, but I won't. You can see they're so, for one, they're resin, so they'll break easy, and can guarantee if I glued them on there I'd bump them off, so they'll go on at the end, probably, or near the end. And the spine will have one of those big ones on the back there. I'll have to check. I might need to fill that hole in if the resin part is narrower than that hole, otherwise you will see it. Yeah, so that's all good now. I still have to clean up the wing section on the seam joins, so that's my next job. And once all that's done, then we can start getting it together. I'll glue it in stages just so I can get the fit. It fits, but it's best to do it in steps so it stays flush. And as mentioned before, that I'll be putting a bit of filler in that wing root. So it's starting to get there. So I've been working on the wing section. I've cleaned up the leading edges, and I've started. Just wanted to see what the fit was going to be like. So with the slat, I'm struggling a bit with what Trumpeter were trying to do here, because the actuators have glued them in. This little one I've managed to break twice. Fiddling around here trying to work out how it's meant to sit. I know they're meant, well, not meant to, but you can have them drooped, but the length of the parts don't match up. If that was full droop, these pieces should continue on, shouldn't just end like that. So I'm either going to have to cut these two to make them shorter, so that the slat is, say, half out, or I have to glue some plastic card onto these two to extend them, so that it basically covers up the hole there, because that's not right. Like the actual part in the aircraft would be inside the mechanics of it. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like, they have you, well, from their call outs, they've got them in the closed position, but you can't. This is how I broke this small one, because I thought, oh, I'll try and push it inside the wing, but it won't. You can't push it inside the wing, that is too small, which is why I broke it. Yeah, so I have to decide what I'm doing there, whether I'm going to have them half extended or glue plastic on and make them fully extended. And if that's the case, so you got oh, there's one. I've put the ejection pins on the part that's part of the aircraft there, but there's one in there that needs a bit of a clean out. If you can see it, if it's extended and you held it upside down, there's two. I'm having the flaps open, so that it'll sit like that one, and then this one will come in. I haven't finished gluing the parts on it, but there's two. I've put, you can see the CA glue, there's two ejection pins, or one either side there, that can be seen as well, so I'll clean them up. Yeah, and there's the wingtips with the light in it, or where the light is, so that this tiny part, so that section in there is where the coloured light bulb is, but this section here, and I don't know if you can see the panel line, that is to remain clear, so I have to mask that one off. Being 1/32 scale, I'll drill a little hole into the light and use a toothpick to put the coloured paint in there, instead of painting the whole piece. Just make it look a little bit more authentic. So yeah, that's why I haven't glued the wing on yet. I'm still messing around with this. That they have you putting it all on before you put the wing to the fuselage, but you can put it on and then do it. I'm just yeah, trying to work a few things out, how I'm displaying it, and the fit of parts, etc. So I've put in the panel lines that I lost, these ones, and just re-scribed across the fuselage, so that's all done, and I've sanded away the angle attack sensors that were moulded in. I cut them off and sand the back. Right, wing is on, as you can see. So we got a bit of a gap there, and this side's worse. As I mentioned earlier in the build, I've kept the wing fit to the fuselage on the bottom flush, so if I kept trying to pull it in, then I'd have a step here, which would be a worse position to deal with than this. This is just an easy job of, I'm going to use this perfect plastic putty, so it's water soluble, and just clean it up with a cotton buds, and just when it's, you can do it when it's still, you've just applied it, or when it's dry. Something like this, I'm going to leave it at least a day, and then I tip some water on the bench and soak the cotton bud in it, and then you just come in and just rub it back. I can show that in the next part if you wish. If you have this stuff, you'll know, well, I've experienced over time, it'll start to sort of dry out in the tube. If you want to prolong the life of it, around the top especially, it'll dry a bit because it's where the air gets exposed to every time you open it. Clean out your top and just get some, this is just tap water. Clean out the top and pour some water in it and stand it up. I let it sit for a few days and it re-moistens it, so it'll prolong the life of a tube, because I don't remember now, it's not cheap, so you want to get the most out of the product. That's just a Trumpeter, I think, or Master Tools, whatever they call their brand. Getting in here might be a bit difficult because don't worry, it's messy because it'll wash away with water. Because it's in the wing root, it's somewhere you're going to see on the model. I'm going to put it really thick, so that way when it shrinks back and when I clean it up, it should be okay to it'll just settle like that, and then it'll be clean up that spot, no problems. I'll do that in a minute. I'm just going through a couple of things here. So I've made up the stabilizers, so you got two parts for the that section, and the control surface is one piece. It's not really something you can droop unless you want to modify the parts how they fit. And then you got this plate that goes on, and then it'll just sit on there. So this plate is the contact surface that you'll be gluing that on. So I've decided with the slats, I'm going to put it, I'm not going to extend it all the way. I'm sort of going to go back a little bit, so I'll end up cutting a little bit off this one, but these ones needed extending. That's 1mm plastic card, so I've just cut a piece off and just glued onto the actuators there, and when they're dry, you'll just sand them back and clean up. When it's painted, you won't notice it, because you're not really, well, if you wanted to, you can drill the holes in the sides, but you're not gonna. The time it goes in, it's going to be back there like that. You don't see it anyway, so there's not much point in doing that. So I'm going to put the putty in here, glue these on.